Hey, what's good? I hope you guys can hear me. I don't know, it sounds like it's going to be super loud over there, but we have some sunlight, and why wouldn't I share this message with you and you and you? So today I want to talk to you about maybe giving people, matching the level at which most people offer. This comes from a lot of times we come from relationships, and also making sure that we are aligned in relationships where we are equally yoked. So this comes from a time where a lot of us are very honest. We like to give more than we give to other people. And let me give you this example. I was in Chiapa de Corzo in Chiapas, and we rented a car. My friends rented a car. I was able to hang out along the ride. We went for this ride, and the owner, they rented the car for 24 hours. The owner said, actually, you know what, can you return this by 8 p.m.? And if you do stay anywhere overnight, just make sure you park the car in a place where you have to pay for parking, because anybody could take it, and I don't want that to happen. So that was another thing. That was part one, right? I don't want anything to happen. It's going to be, this is not what I wanted. So that was like the first part. The second part was that, okay, the guy started calling. He said, look, hey, we're not going to make it. Also, we paid for the full time, and we left at 2 p.m. and you went it back at 6. That's like a third of the time, or a fourth. Yeah, that's a fourth of the time, and you charged me more than I expected. The people were so happy to go and give it back, but I started explaining to them, like, you can't do that. The guy is now calling you at 8:01 saying, you said you were going to be here, what happened? We're in traffic, there was literally a car accident, we're coming. I explained, if you paid the full price and the contract is 24 hours, why are you offering to give it back earlier? So they were explaining, no, there's traffic, there's this and that. And then I kept talking like, you guys, what is wrong with you? Like, it is important for you to give. I understand that we're honest people, but this person isn't. He's like almost abusing you and calling you obsessively, saying, where are you? 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 And you're being so honest to give back. Oh, we're right here. We're going to give you a call in just a few minutes. Everything should be fine. We'll be here in a minute. Calling again. And that's okay, but it's kind of like a parent who, you're 2 minutes past curfew, or like an obsessive parent, and that's kind of a problem. I explained it would be one thing if this person matched the same level of respect and honor and honesty that you had, but this person didn't do that. They weren't matching the same level of respect. In fact, he was very disrespectful. He kept calling you and abusing you and forcing you to do this, and yet you continue to comply. That to me makes zero sense. So let's apply this to our real life. Equally yoked means that a person is in equal value. They have the same ideas, strategies, they have the same mentality, they have the same respect, they have the same honesty, they have the same goals, they have not necessarily resources, but they have the same mentality that you do. They have the same values that you do. So what happens when we meet people that don't have those? Like, how does that really begin to affect us in this way? Well, that's the problem. We end up getting into a lot of relationships, and we end up completely lowering our standards. Like, really. We end up telling other people, well, I'll just hang out with them, and, they curse. I'll hang out with them. They drink. I don't drink. I'll hang out with them. They're not as honest, and I'm still honest, and I'm expecting more honesty, or I believe there was a relationship, and I'm seeing all these yellow and red flags, and I haven't stopped. I just keep moving forward as if it were green. So when we're equally yoked with someone, we just feel a pouring into of them, and a less, we don't feel like the frustration is zero. I don't want to say zero, but for a good amount of time, you won't necessarily feel as if they're not on your level, that you're going to be frustrated. You have to explain everything to them because you're equally yoked. Maybe you may have to explain maybe why you think a certain way, your past, but to excessively, incessantly keep doing it. I had somebody over this weekend, the past week, where I'd been traveling, and I was just kind of like, I just asked you to pull out your phone. Like, is your brain that short? Like your circuit? There's nothing wrong with that, because sometimes my brain is a short circuit too, but we're literally on a task and you're talking about something else. I mean, just kind of like, I couldn't understand where that was coming from. So I just felt, okay, we're not equally yoked to this person. And it had been an age difference. So I could imagine myself maybe 10 years ago, 12. Was I like that? A little leniency is where I was coming from. Not necessarily tolerance, but, just really empathy and just kind of understanding everybody's in different walks in their life. But it's different when we are asserting our positive qualities on somebody else who's not meeting them. They're not even showing us any forms that they're even willing to be as honest. Now, I saw a quote by Warren Buffett. He said, "Honesty is a very expensive gift, and you cannot expect that from cheap people." We have to expect that everybody's going to be cheap. I know. I don't like it either. I mean, I really don't like it either. But the truth is, if we don't expect this, what's the consequence? Getting into business with somebody we don't like, trusting someone who eventually will betray us. Now, let's be honest. All people will betray. Everyone. Your parents, your lover. If it doesn't have to be the worst form of betrayal, but saying one thing, hurting, any feelings being hurt, that's going to happen. We're human. So our trust is not in another human, it's in God. But things that are not equally yoked cause problems. A person who's in a relationship with a liar or a cheater, this causes problems. A person who does not like drama and is constantly in the middle of somebody's stuff causes problems. Someone who is very goal-oriented, being with somebody who's just happy just with the bare minimum, and this another person's like, let's just say a capitalist and the other is a communist, it's going to cause problems. You're not equally yoked in things and not even thinking toward the future. So what kinds of things can we do to kind of start investigating things, or the person, or what we call vetting them, just really finding out who they are and where they come from, especially when relationships are this quick. When traveling, it's kind of like you meet someone, you talk on the elevator, you meet someone, you're in the airport, you meet someone, you're next to them on a bus, on a plane, on a train, and you just start yapping. Some people like to tell their life story, some it's just, I'm trying to forget all about it. But opening up to some people can cause, I'm not saying keep quiet, please, by any means. I could almost like see how I would receive this information, be like, well, I'm not talking to nobody. But that's not really where I want to go with that. I just want to remind you all, there we go, that during this time, we want to be in a space of just asking a lot of questions. Asking questions, just really sitting in a space of observation. Observing people is going to tell us a lot more than what we would do if we were to talk. I've spent and have shared so much. I've been going through, I really like to spend a lot of time, or most of my time, alone, because I have tons of thoughts. I'm so happy with my own company. I'm on a rooftop. So I have hoped that I would get a little space to talk. Let me see if I go inside. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. So we want to make sure that we're kind of in a better. So talking to people is going to tell us a lot more than what we would if we were not necessarily listening to other people. Okay, we'll just see how that goes. But I just felt like it's really important to do a lot of vetting. We call it vetting, to make sure these people are equally on the same page. If not, what does it look like? it can look like a worse form of betrayal because, they're not on the same page, because where they want to go and where you want to go are two different visions. It can just save you a whole bunch of heartbreak. So with that said, make sure you're finding people who are equally yoked, and if not, enjoy being alone. Just stand very firm in that belief. I'm not saying that people who think differently aren't on that path, but it's important that you're still equally yoked. Somebody can think very left and somebody can think very right, but you have certain value. You'll know when it's a good match. Friendships, relationships, partnerships. Remember that video access denied. Okay? All right, guys. See you.